Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome to Growing Through It, a podcast dedicated to bringing you clarity so that you can harness your curiosity and be the creator of your life. Hosted by me, Shanae Rowe. Hello, wonderful people. Thank you so much for being here. I'm super duper excited to share another episode with you, especially this one because I'm hell passionate about what I'm about to tell you guys. It's all about creating your life, making your life your own, not following the roadmap of someone else's life. It is all about living your life because it's yours and doing the things that you love. So I'm very excited for this episode. I hope you guys are super keen as well. Thank you for being here. Before we jump into it, I'm going to mention that I have got my 13 journal prompts. If you want to have a look, it's in the description. If you want to get into journaling as well, you can check out the videos to these podcasts. I have started doing videos, so they're up on YouTube and TikTok, and maybe I'll get around to putting them on Instagram. Who knows? But yeah, go check those ones out. I have a lot of fun creating them, so head on over there. For now, I'm just going to say a massive welcome. Thank you for being here. I love the support and I love you guys. So let's jump into this episode. And it is called Shifting Your Mindset from Chaser to Creator. And it is all about leading a life that is yours and not someone else's. And I am so passionate about sharing my perspective on this and talking to people about, going after their own life and creating their own life, designing a life that is right for them and not something that looks good but doesn't feel good. Because I think we're all put in this magical world for a specific reason, and each person has their own reason. Each person has their own purpose and their own why. No two people are here and they're supposed to have the same outcome. They're supposed to have the end goal of the influence they have on other people, on themselves, and on the world as a whole. We are all so individual, and so our lives need to reflect that. And many of us get caught up in a life that isn't actually ours, and it doesn't feel 100% great or aligned to us because we're so concerned with how it looks to the outside world, or if we're making enough money, or if we've got enough followers or enough people we feel like we're influencing. But deep down, we don't feel super duper aligned to the life that we're building for ourselves. And I want to say that you can change from that. You can shift from that lifestyle. You can shift from a lifestyle where you're chasing an end goal to something that you're designing and that you're happy with and that fulfills you and makes you completely stoked to just be living the day-to-day. You enjoy it so much that you're just so grateful to be here. And so that is what I'm aiming to shift within you guys. Hopefully after you listen to this, you have a little bit of motivation to just make a tiny adjustment in your life, to change something, to, alter a little thing in your life from doing something because you think people think that you're cool for doing it to doing something because you just enjoy it and you want to do it. So in saying that, first up, I want to explain a little bit what I believe a chaser is. And I think for the most part, if you are a chaser, you're not even aware that you're chasing someone else's roadmap. You're living your life and you've got sort of a dream job as an end goal, or you've got a relationship, a really satisfying relationship as an end goal. And you don't realize, and you're not even aware that you're actually following someone else's life plan. You're looking at other people and thinking, that looks really good for them. I'm going to do that too. Oh, that job that they're doing makes a lot of money and it pays the bills and, they seem to have a good work crew. I want to do that too. And without even realizing, you just make these decisions based on what you see other people doing and what you think other people are happy doing, but you don't actually consider if it's going to make you happy, and you don't consider if it's something that you even enjoy doing in the first place. It's just looking externally, looking at other people's successes and thinking, I'm going to do that too. Because they look happy, they seem content with what they're doing. It must be the right move, so I'm going to do it too. And that's vaguely what I believe a chaser to be. And I've been that person. I've been a chaser. I've looked at other people's lives from an outside perspective and I've been like, that looks cool. They are making money, or they've got lots of friends doing that. I'm going to do it too. And so you try and almost copy, you're imitating what someone else is doing in their life because you think it's going to bring you satisfaction or pleasure or some kind of happiness. And, maybe it does work for a little while, but I think if you're following someone else's roadmap of their life journey, then at some point you're going to realize that you're not completely happy with the life that you're chasing. And note that I do say chasing and not building, because you are chasing something else. You're chasing someone else's happiness. You're chasing an end goal that you think is going to work for you. You've got your eyes on the outcome and you don't put much thought into what goes into it. I think when you are in this mindset of chaser, you're also constantly changing. You're changing jobs, degrees, you're moving around all the time. And I think there is a big difference, especially being in your 20s, between changing things all of the time and shifting things around sporadically and trying new things. Because I think for you to try new things, you do something because you enjoy it, whether that's photography or modeling or, you're doing arts and crafts and things like that. Being in your 20s is about trying new things, and I stand by that 100%. Like, go and do things that interest you. But I think if you are a chaser, you're not doing new things as such, but you're starting and stopping and shifting around things all of the time because you're not committing to something. You're not committing to this hobby that you've picked up. You see someone who's super into music and you think, oh, that looks awesome. They look like they're having so much fun. I'm going to do that too. And the choice comes not from because you enjoy it, but because you feel obligated to pick up an instrument, because you want to be known as the musical person, in your town or in your friend group. Like, that is a chaser's mindset. It's not a creator's mindset. Things like degrees and jobs as well. It's so easy to fall into the trap of just doing it, just completing that degree and just doing that job because it looks good. And at the end of the day, you're going to end up with a diploma or a bachelor's degree or something like that, or you're going to be qualified to work this job that is, it's pretty up there. It's considered pretty amazing by people, rather than making the choice of continuing a degree or continuing with a job because it actually makes you happy and brings you joy. Like, there is a difference between that. And I think a lot of the time, chasers are trying these new things not from a place of pleasure or enjoyment, but from a place of external validation, or because you think it will look good and it will feel good. The same thing can be said about moving and traveling as well. If you are a chaser, you probably have this mindset that, I want to go to Europe because it looks amazing and all of my friends are having so much fun and all these people online are just so beautiful and tan and having a wonderful time eating all the food, and their Instagram stories look fire, and I want to do that too. I want to be known as that person that went to Europe and had a blast, rather than I want to go and travel, or I want to move to this new place because it fascinates me and I'm interested about learning there and seeing what comes of it. And I think chasers are, at the end of the day, chasing success. You're chasing an end goal. You're chasing the outcome of something, rather than just looking in front of you and making a decision based off of the information you've been given. It's almost as if when you are a chaser, you don't even consider all of these beautiful moments and opportunities that are presented into your life, like right in front of you. You overlook it and you're just looking at, no, but I want this. And you don't even try and incorporate all of these moments and opportunities and situations and challenges into your life because you think it's irrelevant. You think it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because you want to get there. You want to have that degree. You want to have that house. You want to move to this place. You want to finish this degree and be qualified in some, field. And so you're always chasing success. But the thing about success is if you're chasing it, you'll never get it. And if you do get it, it is fleeting. It is only temporary. It doesn't last forever. And so you are going to keep seeking out that success. You take away all of the hard work that you put in to get to the outcome, because now you just focus on the next outcome. You focus on the next goal, the next dream. And you don't give yourself enough credit for where you are now. You don't give yourself enough credit for putting in all the hard work to get to the goal that you wanted so desperately a year ago or 3 years ago or 10 years ago. And I think that can be really harmful for us, because what that does is it takes away our ability to find gratitude in our lives. It takes away our ability to be content and feel happy about the small moments in our lives. We're chasing that satisfying relationship. We're chasing an A+ on our exam. We're chasing picturesque travel. We're chasing an amazing job, a high-paying job. And if you notice about all of these things that we're chasing, it's the adjective before the goal that we really want to pay attention to. A satisfying relationship, or a high-paying job, or an A+ on an exam. We're chasing this goal, but we're chasing specifically what we want from that goal. And we're not happy until we get it. We're not happy until we get an A+. We're not happy until we have a satisfying relationship. But we don't pay attention enough to how to make those things achievable. We have a relationship and we don't give it enough credit for being a healthy one, or a satisfying one, or we see someone else's relationship and compare it to our own. Their relationship is much healthier than mine. They have much more of a deeper connection than I do with my partner. So I'm just going to boot him off, right? We're comparing ourselves, we're comparing our lives to someone else's, and we're completely invalidating our own experiences, because we're looking for that end goal. We're looking for the best of what we want to achieve. And by having our focus on our end goal, we lose our ability to be grateful for the small moments. We lose our gratitude for just existing, for enjoying the journey of life. And at some times, it can feel like we're in some sort of a race. We're in a race to be the best, to do the best, to look like we've got the best. And it can feel really overwhelming. And there's a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves that comes along with this feeling that we're in a race against ourselves, against others, against people our age, against time, the ticking time clock that is life. And I think if we're always focused on this outcome, that we want to achieve something in our life or an end goal, we really just lose sight of the joys in our life, because it feels almost as if nothing matters until we're there. We're at that place that we want to be. And something that I have realized is that when we are in the mindset of a chaser, if we're chasing this life that's not our own, we, to some extent, feel like we're not good enough, or what we're doing isn't good enough. And essentially, we're running away from something within us that makes us feel like we're not good enough, or that makes us feel like we're not doing enough with our lives. And that's a really heavy feeling to have. That's a really heavy emotion to be holding on to, and an emotion that drives all of our decisions. Feeling like we're not enough, or that we're a failure if we don't achieve something, or that we're worthless or imperfect. That's a really heavy feeling to hold on to and to have within us. So of course, if you do feel that way to some extent, you're going to be chasing something. If you feel like you're not enough or you're not worthy, you're going to be chasing something that makes you feel worthy, something that makes you feel enough. And that mindset seeps into every choice that you make in your life. That drives the decision to forget about all the little beautiful moments right here and just focus on the end goal and get this done so that someone can be proud of you. Someone can be proud of me because I've achieved something. And then you get there and you realize, like, it's still not enough. You're still not enough. I'm still not enough. So what are we going to do? We're going to aim for something else. And it's such a cycle of seeking out things that make us feel enough, things that we think other people are going to reward us for. We seek out jobs and travel and relationships and things that create our life so that someone hopefully sees that we are enough and praises us for what we're doing. And it's a really draining way to live. And like I said at the start, like a lot of the time we're not even aware of it until one day we are. One day we think to ourselves, like, what am I doing? Why am I making these choices? Why am I going after these things that don't actually make me feel happy? And that's when the shift comes. And I think in order to be the creator of our life, we have to address the emotional wounds that come up, all of the things that we tell ourselves about not being good enough. We have to do the emotional work, which is a really challenging thing to do. It's not an easy task, and it is a lifelong task. But our brains love a challenge, and we love to be overcoming things all the time. And so why not? Why not take on that challenge of having more awareness about yourself and actually finding the things that bring you joy because of who you are, and then going after those things instead of looking to someone else's life and trying to create your life, trying to make yourself squish into someone else's life plan, because it's not going to work like that. You have to take a look at yourself and think about what you actually enjoy doing, what brings you happiness, what makes you super curious, and then build your life according to those things. So I've talked enough about what a chaser is. What is a creator then? And I truly think that being a creator simply is you make choices in your life that align with your purpose and your greater sense of why. Everything that you think and every choice that you make and everything that you do comes back to you. What you like, what you want, what you hope to achieve, what you feel like your purpose is, what makes you feel fulfilled in life. And it's got nothing to do with other people and what they're doing and whether what they're doing looks good or not. You take away how it looks and you think about how it feels for you. That's what a creator is. It's having the bravery to make decisions based on what feels good for you, what aligns with you, what works for you, and totally overlooking what other people are going to think about you, say about you, and what other people are doing with their life. Because it doesn't matter what they're doing, okay? It matters what you're doing. And if you do things, if you create things in your life that come from this deep sense of purpose and a deep curiosity in what makes you feel alive, then you're just going to attract people who are doing the same thing. You're going to attract people who you can collaborate with. Ask yourself this: do you want to build relationships with people that don't align with what you want? Do you want to put in all the effort and energy and time to build relationships and work experiences and all these things with someone if it doesn't feel right? Do you want to do that? Or do you want to live from a deep sense of purpose and attract people who can collaborate with that deep sense of purpose, and you can work together and build and create beautiful things together? What do you want? What do you prefer? What would you rather in your life? Creators as well focus on the small choices. It's not looking at the end goal, it's just looking at the step in front of you and finding all the information and the knowledge that comes just in front of you. You know, and I think what's really beautiful about being a creator is you take on that knowledge and all that information and you make your choice based on what you're being presented with. You don't have an end goal in mind. You're not searching for this thing that's going to make you feel loved or that you're enough or that you're worthy. You're just using the information that you have in front of you and you're making decisions based off of that knowledge. And I think when we operate from that place, we are so much more grateful for our lives, for the things that we're given, for the opportunities that are there. Everything feels like chance, like serendipity. Everything feels beautiful. It's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this person came into my life at this time. And then you create something with that person. Or, wow, I can't believe that I was offered this job opportunity. It has nothing what I thought I wanted to do with my life, but I'm going to take this job and see what comes of it. It's like you're so much more thankful for all the little things that are popping up in your life, for the people, the opportunities, for the challenges. There's so much more gratitude for your life, for being here, for the things that come into your life. And as we all know, gratitude is what makes us enjoy everything. Gratitude is what makes us feel like we're worthy of being here, when we can see all these little moments that impact the bigger picture of our life and be thankful for that. That's what makes us feel alive. As a creator as well, the more that you make decisions based on your deeper sense of purpose and your why you do things, why you want to do this thing, then it creates a lot of self-belief in yourself. And that self-belief fuels more self-belief. And if you are creating your own life, a lot of the time you're not going to know what you're doing and if you're doing the right thing, if you're making the right choices. But believing in yourself makes it a whole lot easier to continue designing the life that feels right for you. I always find transitioning from following someone else's life, of being a creator, to creating your own life based on your own values and what feels right for you, that transition period is really challenging because you don't trust yourself a lot of the time. You don't know if you're making the right decision. You don't know if what you choose is going to turn out good or bad. And there is a lot of self-doubt that comes into it. But I think the more that you choose to follow the things that make you feel alive and purposeful and just content and satisfied with yourself, the more you build your self-belief, the more awareness that you gain about yourself. And that creates this cycle of self-confidence and self-belief and self-awareness, which allows you to continue making choices where you're creating your life, where you're doing things out of passion and purpose and love and alignment. And when we're doing that, we're able to enjoy the ride. We're able to enjoy the journey that is this beautiful life. We're not here to work and pay bills and be successful and have achieved something amazing in life. We're just here to enjoy it. We're just here to have fun and create and do things from a sense of meaning and passion and purpose with ourselves and with the greater world. And so a creator is someone who just is here for the journey of their life. They're taking all these bits of information in and they're just thriving because they know that's what they're here to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Just for pleasure, just for fun. And, they just want to see what they create when they're in a state of play and pleasure. Alrighty, so enough about being a chaser and being a creator. Hopefully you guys have some clarity about those two things. And if you haven't already, just think about what you think you are at this point in time. Are you a chaser? Are you looking to someone else or to other people or to society as a way to build your life? Are you always looking at the end goal and hoping that you're going to achieve something? Are you secretly running away from some hard truth about yourself? Or are you a creator? Are you doing things from a place of love for yourself and awareness and belief in yourself, and you're creating all of these wonderful moments and opportunities in your life that feel true to you and that you love doing? Or are you somewhere in the middle? Are you transitioning? Are you in that really uncomfortable, really challenging phase of wanting to be more of a creator, but you're not really sure how? Which one are you? Have a think about it. And for all of you people who are trying to shift from chasing their life to creating their life, then I've got a couple little tips for you to follow along that might make it a little bit easier for you. First one is take a break. Take a break. Take a gap year if you've finished school. Take a holiday. Have no obligations. Take some time and some space away from your life and just chill out. Be open-minded and curious and just slow down for a bit, because I think it's so hard to know what we want and know what our purpose is and create from a place of purpose when we don't give ourselves the time and the space to actually know who we are or what we want. Let yourself just breathe for a minute. Take all the obligations and the stresses and the pressures off of yourself and just go and have some fun. let your hair down, go for a swim in the ocean, go on a holiday somewhere and just decompress. I'm a big believer that all of your best work and your best ideas come when you are in a state of play and pleasure, and when you don't put the pressure on yourself to create something or to come up with an idea. All of your best things come when you are actually not thinking too much. When you're more focused on how wonderful your life is compared to how you think it should look. So take some time, take a break. The second thing that is really helpful is to address what comes up when you do take this time for yourself, because most likely things will come up. A lot of the time we try and keep ourselves busy. We want to be doing something, okay? Because subconsciously we know that when we stop doing something, that's when all these thoughts come in, that's when all these doubts come in, that's when all of our, epiphanies and realizations about life and ourselves come up, is when we're not doing anything. So that's why we like to keep ourselves busy. So when you take the time and the space to not be busy, go on a holiday or whatever, all right, you'll probably have a lot of things come up. A lot of beliefs that don't really serve you anymore, a lot of hopes and dreams that you realize maybe aren't yours, and they were actually the hopes and dreams that your parents wanted for you, or that a younger version of you wanted for you. So be kind to yourself when all of these things come up, but also don't hide from them. Address them and see what you can do with the information that you're given. Maybe after you finish school, you were set on having a specific career, and then you take a gap year, and the biggest thing that comes from that is, wow, like I thought I wanted to do this job, but I really don't. Like, I think I was just trying to make my parents happy, or I was more focused on how much money I would make doing it instead of like how I actually feel doing this job. So be kind to yourself if you have these big things come up for you, because it's not easy. It's not easy to realize that what we wanted from life wasn't actually what we wanted, and it was more like to look good or to make other people think that we're doing well, or that we're worthy, or that, we're valuable people, just anything. They're hard things to come to terms with and to realize about ourselves, but when you do have those realizations, just be kind to yourself. It's okay. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to not want something that we used to. The third thing is start doing what you want to do. Start doing the things that you are curious about doing, and not the things that you feel like you have to do. Forget about like your obligations in a sense. You might realize that you've been playing footy your whole life and you don't actually like it. You were just doing it so that you'd stay fit and that you could hang out with the same friends, and that, you could win awards and impress yourself and feel like you're worthy. You might realize that instead you actually like swimming. Like, let yourself do the things that you want to do. Let yourself do the things that you're interested in doing rather than the things you feel like you're supposed to do. And then the fourth thing is just keep following those curiosities. Keep following the things that interest you. Not because of some external pressures coming in, but the things that actually spike your interest, the things that make you think like, that's interesting, I want to learn more about that, or I want to do that and see what happens. Just be curious and let your curiosity guide you. I think it's the fundamental value that a creator has, is their curiosity. And it's not letting the look of something shape their life, but more the feeling of curiosity, the feeling of, oh, what'll happen if I do this? And letting those little moments shape their life. They're creating based on, like I said, the information that is in front of them, the opportunities that come up. They're not overlooking all of these wonderful things, but rather using all of the things that come into their life as a way to keep creating their life and building something that feels really spectacular. Something that I've learned is that pinch me moments happen when you more freely let things enter and exit your life. without holding on to an expectation or a friendship or a job. Let it come into your life and let it go. And that's when you'll have a lot of these moments where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened, or I can't believe I met this person. I can't believe this opportunity presented itself to me. Pinch me moments. It's like, how? How is this possible? But it is because you're letting things come into your life without saying no and without giving any judgment to it. And you're also letting things exit your life when it's time to. You're in this constant energy of exchange where things come in and things go. You're not attaching and you're just flowing with it. You're creating your life based on what life is giving you. And I think it's important to remember that you're not waiting around for things to happen. Like, you're actively making choices that create more of these like serendipity moments. And another thing that I just want to say is that I don't think you will ever be satisfied with your life until you have the courage to leave the path that you feel like you're meant to be on and go and create your own. I don't think you can ever really feel a sense of joy and pleasure and satisfaction with what you're doing if you're trying to follow a map. If you're doing this to get to this, to get to there, to end up here. I think the purpose of life is just to have something here and take a step forward and see what opens up. You have to have the bravery that things are going to work out for you, that you are making the right decision, that anything you do is going to lead to something wonderful. It's that self-confidence and that self-belief that I talked about earlier. Because once you believe that you can make life anything you want it to be, it can be as remarkable as you can possibly imagine. Then you're going to feel satisfied. You're going to look at your life and be like, hey, I did that. I had no idea what I was doing and I did that. I created that for myself. I built these relationships. I got this job. I designed this thing. I did that. I can't believe I did that. That's where all our satisfaction comes from. That's where our gratitude comes from. It's that belief in ourselves that we have the capacity to create what we want with what we're given. That's the mindset of a creator. That's a satisfying, beautiful life. And that's how everyone deserves to live. Everyone. You can be the creator of your life. You can design your life to be whatever you want, and it can be amazing and it can feel incredible and wonderful and it can feel like play all the time. You can do that for yourself. I really hope you've loved this episode and I hope you've taken something away from it. I hope there was a moment in there where you thought, oh wow, I want to make this change to my life. I want to be more of a creator. I want to be the person creating my life rather than living according to someone else's roadmap. I hope it's helped you in some way. I hope you've had a realization. I've really enjoyed making this episode today and I cannot wait to see you again next week. I appreciate you so much. If you want to show your support for my little podcast and what I'm doing, then please share it around. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what specifically you like about this podcast and what I'm saying and what I'm doing. It would mean a lot. I'm always open to trying new things and hearing your perspective. I've also got a gift for you guys. If you like journaling, if you're getting into journaling, I have a little worksheet journal prompt thing for you to do. 13 journal prompts to get you really curious and opening your mind and building a life that you really want to live because it aligns with you. So those journal prompts are in the link in the description of this episode. As always, super grateful for you guys. Happy to have you here listening along. I love you all. But that is all from me today. The world is waiting for you, so get on out there and enjoy your big, beautiful life. Bye!